Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. It's my last big repot of the spring, and I think it might be a tricky one, this. Oh, this is the last of my stupid heavy trees. That's crazy. This is an interesting tree, this. I was playing golf around 17 years ago. I played out of a bunker, terrible shot, missed the green, and as I played, I noticed a small oak sapling growing in the sand, a little acorn. I dug it up, threw it in my golf bag, and when I got home, I planted it, and this is the tree. For most of that period, I've not done too much with this. It's been in a big pot. I can't remember how long it's been in here, but it's been a while. And it was growing and looking quite nice. And about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I went in and just like completely hacked it, took all the big branches off to try and get the structure back in some sort of order. However, since then, it's kind of been struggling a bit, and the growth has gone quite fine and it's gone a bit weird. I've got a feeling it's in a ton of limestone because this weighs, it's so heavy, it's ridiculous. I need to get it out of this. When I say this is heavy, I'm not exaggerating. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the plan is just to like rock it over somehow, like that, and kind of pull it out. There she comes. There she goes. Come on. No limestone in this. It's just heavy. Oh, yeah, there's quite a bit of pottery in there. You can see it's in, this is just garden soil. There's not even any clay, any compost in this or anything. A lot of these roots are just dead and dying. This is why it's been so unhealthy. It might be too late on this tree. This might be dead. Look, dead roots. Well, the thing with oaks is they can survive for a long time with just no roots. I know that because of ugly oak. That did ages with almost nothing. Well, with nothing, it had no roots, and it did 1.5 years. It leafed out, it grew branches. It didn't have any roots. So, look at these. See, I've cut all these. What was I doing? All these have got nothing on them. Now, there are some roots on this, some fine roots at the bottom here. They don't look particularly vigorous or healthy, but they are alive. So I'm going to switch to a chopstick and just start being a bit more gentle with this. I've just got to be gentle and see how much of this soil I can get out of here, because if this is going to have any chance of putting some decent roots out this year. See, there is some fine roots here. It's got a chance, this tree, definitely. But for it to have a chance, I definitely need to get it out of this heavy clay-like soil and into some decent bonsai soil. And if I do that, you know, it's a good time to repot an oak now, because the buds should just be swelling and it should be sort of getting ready to grow. and we've got a lovely week's growing weather coming up. It's forecast sunshine and showers, which is perfect at this time of year. Nice and warm, nice and humid. See, the roots at the bottom of the tree are rotten. Look at this. It's just rotting away. I've just washed the roots off and they're not looking too bad. What this tree reminds me of is the Zen story, and it's called Is That So? I don't know if you've ever heard it, and as I'm just clearing these roots out, I'm going to tell you the story. It's hundreds of years ago. There's a Chinaman who's got a son and a wife and a horse, and one day his horse runs off. It jumps over the fence, runs away, and the neighbour comes round and says, "Oh, I heard your horse ran away. That's so unlucky." And he goes, "Is that so?" Anyway, the next day, the horse returns with 10 wild stallions and mares, and they jump into the paddock, and he's now got 10 horses, and the neighbour comes over and goes, "I can't believe it. It's come back. You've now got 10 horses. That's so lucky." And the man goes, "Is that so?" And they decide to break some of these horses in. So the following day, the man's son tries to break one of these horses in. The horse kicks him, breaks his leg. And the neighbour comes round and goes, "Oh, I heard what happened with your son. That's so unlucky." And he goes, "Is that so?" But the following week, the army turn up. They're going to war. It means almost certain death. They're taking all young men with them. And they don't take his son because he's had a broken leg. And the neighbour comes round and goes, "Oh, you're so lucky that your son's got a broken leg." And he goes, "Is that so?" And that's the end of the story. The point is, you just don't know what's lucky and what's not lucky in life. Sometimes, you know, you think something is, "Oh, that's terrible," but actually it can end up being good. And I think bonsai is all about those kind of principles. So this tree, although I initially thought, "Oh, this is terrible, it's really weak, it's dying, it's not doing well," that's bad luck after 18 years. But you just never know. Perhaps what's happened to this tree in the last year is the best thing that could have happened. As a bonsai, you just don't know. So I suppose it teaches us not to sit in judgment of life, really. To just sort of go with the flow. I've got one big thick root here. There's no finer roots on it. So I may as well get rid of this. This is a good opportunity now. It's kind of like do or die. Well, I'm going to such extremes with these roots, I may as well. Try and sort these roots out, and you know, we've got some quite nice flare here. All these roots are looking good. Yeah, this turns round a bit, and we've got one here that turns around. And I'm not willing to cut those off because I need to keep as much root mass as I can on this tree. So that'll do me for now. That just wants to go in a pot. Got something a bit different to put this tree in. I normally just put my trees in black washing up bowls, but because this is a special tree, this goes in a cream coloured washing up bowl. Oh, made to measure, absolutely made to measure. First job is to get some nice fresh bonsai soil in there. And now take the tree and really sort of sit it down nicely on top of that pile. In fact, I think I could have put more on there. I really want this tree to sit and sort of squish down really nicely on this, so let's get it in like that. Push the roots down. I've not trimmed any of these roots off, now's not the time. Down she goes. Just check the orientation, which is just like that. Kind of, this tree leans away and then moves towards us, so there we go. Now do the usual, getting this soil right down. Should eat up quite a bit of soil, this root mass. And in the end, I thought it had quite a decent root system really, this. So I've got hopes for this. When I first started I thought, oh no. But a bit lower down there was some decent roots and quite a few fine roots, so you know, you're always in with a chance. Well, I think that went as well as I could have hoped for. It's all potted up now. I'll give it a good watering, and obviously I'll update you on this tree in the coming months as my other oaks begin to bud out and open up. Hopefully this follows suit, and I'll keep you in the loop as to what's happening. As always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.